and gentlemen, welcome back to Chocolate Sluts, episode 22, the number one place on the internet where you come for the sluts and stay for the chuckles. My name is Samuel Locke.
I'm Shannon Brunetti.
I'm Zach Clapperich.
You sure as hell are.
I'm slutting and chuckling. in differentiating orders, you know.
Did I ever tell you what the alternate name for this podcast was going to be? Because
Slutzel Chuck.
No, I was actually worried that Chocolate Sluts people would be like, "Oh, it's rated R for really good." No, I was thinking of Chuckle Cluckers as the as the alternate name.
Will we be chickens or something?
Kind of thing.
Something like that. Anyhoozle, we're going to start off with our usual always and forever segment, the World Doe. And I think I'm going to start this one off because it's racking my brain and
you're going to nail it.
Oh yeah. So usually when UFO stuff comes out or, comes in the news, the government's very quick to say, oh, this is a weather balloon, or, oh, this was just us doing testing that looked really funky. It's the first time, and they're doing this thing tomorrow. It's the 23rd right now. So on the 24th, they're coming up with this thing, and they've already prefaced, we don't know how to explain what we're about to tell you. This amuses me, this freaks me out, and this makes me kind of excited all at the same time. It's like, what do you know? What have you seen? I need to know.
Because there's a big interview, right? Like, isn't that they're releasing it's like a big information dump coming out, right?
Yeah, it's I don't know if it's like a singular event or if it's like a bunch of stuff that they're like, BT dubs, this is the really weird stuff we haven't released yet. And I'm hoping, have you noticed, like, it's always some like low res bullshit that they've always come out like we're shooting like 8K now and they're trying to develop 16K and y'all can't figure out how to put this stuff on your aircrafts. I mean, hell, the GoPro is this small and it shoots in 4K. You guys can do it.
You say that, but like Katie sometimes asks me to take a photo and like I'm an adult with a phone. I know how to do it, but still sometimes like it comes out blurry and she's like, what are you doing? Like, do you have fingers? And I'm like, no, me no chimp how. I don't understand. And so like, people can fuck up photos. Don't get too mad at somebody when you see like a bright light across the sky and you bring out your like chimp thumbs. Like,
see, no. Here's the thing. Like if it was once or twice, sure. It's been 50 goddamn years and it's always some like Bigfoot fucking footage that's like grainy and gross and it doesn't work. And it's not like, it's not like they stopped visiting, like they're still actively visiting. We have the technology to capture more than just a blobby light in the sky, like I'm really hoping for some like high def, legit footage that doesn't look like it came out of Photoshop.
For sure. I mean, you all clearly pop a fucking tinfoil boy over here. Like I'm just waiting. Like it's gonna happen eventually. I'm just waiting on that moment that someone's just like, yeah, no, here's like a fucking like a laser beam shooter thing, and I'll be like, yeah, I told you. Like it's gonna happen eventually. So trust me, I'm there. I believe it.
In the words of our Professor Immortal, when it comes to like the aliens, it's aliens. Like it's here, and I'm here for it. And I just tell me that there's little green men that exist, and don't bullshit me on it. Anyway, that's what I got. I'm stoked. Like I know that's usually your field of vision, but I had to talk about it.
I'm all about it.
Well, my World Doe is a little bit more gross. Is mostly about, I think shrimps look like aliens, don't you think, guys?
Hey, Shreks?
Shrimps.
Oh, shrimps. Yeah.
Yeah. Little shrimpy.
Water bugs. Yeah.
That reminds me of like the little one from Men in Black, that weird like shrimp alien dude.
Weren't they?
Anyway, so the reason why I bring up shrimp is a man named Jensen Karp, who sounds like he's going to be like a Pokemon trainer already. Like this man, like I'm sorry, dude.
Your
trainer,
last name. Obviously.
His name's Karp with a K, but like Jensen Karp. like Magikarp. I'm sorry. He found shrimp tails in his Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. And he posted out like actual pictures. At first, the company was like, no, that's just sugar and cinnamon deposits. And he's like, oh, really? Takes picture. These are motherfucking shrimp tails. What the hell? So Cinnamon Toast
cereal.
Don't eat it until they figure it out. Because his wife opened another package that they got from Costco, and there was dental floss in the other one.
So was this just like it was just like a gnarly pack, or was it they literally like a lottery chanced upon two
boxes of Cinnamon Toast Crunch that had shrimp tails? First of all, who's eating shrimp at the packing plant is what I want to know. And then who's flossing their teeth right after it? Maybe it's the same person. They're like, oh, they got some little shrimp bits stuck in their mouth.
Maybe he just like woke up one day and he's like, guys, hear me out. Test products, okay? Cinnamon, shrimp, right? And then they tried it, and like maybe he was just like threw up in the air in victory, and it just landed on the conveyor belt. I imagine they are on conveyor belts. I assume they're on conveyor belts.
I don't know how they make cereal anymore.
I don't know how they make cereal anymore. But
I honestly, in my head, the way anything is made is just like a bunch of people in white jackets on conveyor belts. Like literally everything in the world. I feel like that's how it's made, like in Malaysia. And I take advantage of that because of capitalism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the company is hosting investigations for how the shrimp tails and dental floss got into boxes of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So I don't know what a Cinnamon Toast Crunch investigation looks like, but I just think of, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereals, like the mascots, like running around, like, with little Gestapo uniforms on. Who the fuck was eating shrimp?
I bet that's their big media line coming out next. Yeah, you'll see that on TV, on CBS.
Now without shrimp.
Cinnamon Toast 100% less shrimp in every box. Or better yet, they make it like the child's toy. It's like that's how they should just lean into it. Just make it like a little plastic shrimp toy that goes in the box. Like they just all that PR just throw it back.
They just lean into it.
Yeah.
Makes center shrimps. That's the next move. No. We meant to do that. You just got the first box.
And that was the guy who did that. That was his thought the whole time. It's like, they'll just lean into it. And now we will have shrimp toast crunch. I am a genius.
Toast crunch. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, that's a fucking plankton pass right there. No big deal. Pass.
Do this to me, crabs. I went to college.
Negative.
Oh.
All right. Well, I guess an animal kind of reference. A quick move there. If anyone's heard of Cocaine Bear, it's currently in the media. There is a movie coming out. It is being directed by Elizabeth Banks. Super rad. It's supposed to be fun. It's called Cocaine Bear. So I looked it up. Awesome. Basically, back in the Pablo Noriega days, there was a point where they were going to ship in a bunch of cocaine up to the Northwest. They flew in an airplane. Airplane wasn't doing so well. So a man named Andrew Thornton, who used to be a cop, turned into a drug mule, just threw all the coke into the Appalachians to where like 80 kilos of cocaine landed in like Northeast Tennessee. And wherever it landed, he was going to go and hike back up into the Appalachia to, recover his drugs. But lo and behold, a bear ate it.
Oh, no.
So a giant brown bear ate a shit ton of cocaine. Now, there's several stories about what happened to this bear. One of these stories is clearly going to go into Elizabeth Banks' movie, which I hope is like Bear NATO, and the bear is just coked up and just like rages through town, throwing down buildings like it's a rage movie. But the point, like, it was amazing. Like the fact that like this is a real story that happened, that a bear ate the cartel's cocaine and then ran away. And this Andrew Thornton guy was surely murdered by the cartel because a bear ate his homework.
All right. I have the perfect name for the obvious TV movie that this is going to turn into.
Cocaine Bear. What can you do better?
Breaking Bear.
You did better.
Breaking Bad, baby.
Oh my God. I didn't think you could do better than Cocaine Bear. But you did.
Breaking Bad.
Thank you. Call Elizabeth Bank. Get her number. Right? And call her accountant. Awesome.
Yes. Here's a truckload of money. Here you go. Oh goodness.
But yeah, so that's about it. It's not like new news, but the movie's new. But they gave me so much joy in this joyless world. That story brings me life. Oh, it's so happy.
Nice.
Hey, that bear said fuck 12.
Yeah. I will say that the bear's heart definitely exploded and it died.
Oh.
Because I feel like the PSA don't eat
I don't
80 kilos of cocaine.
well hold on a moment. This bear is like a half a ton bear, and it's like a wilderness bear, obviously. So it's probably got like some real strong he probably had like a strong bender, like the biggest bender that this bear is ever gonna have.
He went off. This thing ran for like 40 miles straight, but then its heart exploded. Which is, it sounds like a common LA Tuesday, you see that on Melrose once a week. But for bears, it's a pretty, a noteworthy experience.
I just imagine this bear just like sitting in the river waiting for a fish, like, come on, fuck on. I need a fucking fish. I'm so goddamn hungry.
Bear texting everyone it knows 8 times.
What are you doing? What are you doing? I need some help in another fucking river.
Normal
stuff.
Normal stuff. Anyway, moving on.
Doing push-ups and jumping jacks.
Have you guys seen this fucking cage? Anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on from the World Doe. And we're going to jump into critical fail. And I've got one that I saved from the last one, because the last one, it was between one or the other. I mean, I was going to tell both stories, so we're here for it. I'm going to go last because it's super embarrassing.
All right, I'll Shannon, you'll split us up. I'll go first.
Okay.
This is the worst. This is a bad time. This was a time that I thought would be really great. So I was like 22, young, hot, cool, and I was invited to be in a charity bachelor auction. Which it's really like you just go up on stage, like people from all over town, like they lay down bets, and basically like bars and things around town have donated date nights to where like people can buy you for a date night, and it's supposed to be fun and clever and charming, and which I thought it would be. And of course, again, I've got the ego of an asshole, and a good asshole, not like an ugly asshole, like a really big head. And I got excited. And then I went up on stage doing super cool, and it was really awesome. A couple people bought on me. And then out of nowhere, my mom goes, $375. And no one else said anything. And so me, in front of the whole town of Knoxville, Tennessee, got bought by my mom to go on a date for charity, where there was like lovely people everywhere, and no one came to my rescue. No one. I would have paid them back. And my mom, the fear in her eyes when she met my eyes and she realized that she just bought a date with me and ruined my reputation forever, it was disorienting, to say the least.
Oh my God.
So I took my mom on a date, and I didn't roll good. It was bad. I threw out a charisma and was like, "Who wants this?" And then bam! And then I was like, "Mom, love me." And then she bet on me, and that's
a 1 to diplomacy, speech, common sense.
Yeah,
that's all bad.
Yeah, I should have never invited her. She should not have come. That's not her. It wasn't her area to be in. There's no reason for her to be here. That's my fault. That's a quick and awful for you. There you go.
Mine's funny. It's just more sad. So the first and last time I ever stepped on a skateboard was to try to impress somebody when I was 11 in Sports Authority. I don't know if you guys know that store. It's I think it's bankrupt now. There's none in my hometown anymore. Well, they just
still
moved
there.
out of my hometown. Then I've literally not seen another one in
Just
San
got
Diego.
bought up by dicks.
Oh boy.
Dicks.
So-
Dick jerk.
So I was an idiot, and like I was trying to impress. Like I come from a very conservative and like helicopter parenty family, so I wasn't allowed to go anywhere ever until basically I graduated high school and moved to college. So me at 11, I was shopping with my mom and my little brother who was getting his soccer stuff. And I see this really fine guy from my 6th grade class. Okay. Like he was smoking. He had like that puka shell necklace and the blonde hair. It was
Early
like,
2000s.
right. And so then like I knew who skateboarded and surfed and stuff. And so like I was trying to be cool, trying to pretend I was shopping for a new board like an idiot. I had never stepped on one ever in my life. And so like we're shooting the shit and talking about like homework and stuff. And then I was trying to flirt as
You
all
seem way
11-year-olds.
cooler than I was at 11. I don't think I could talk to
No, I was not. I was talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender. And
you.
I mean, I still talk about Avatar: The Last Airbender. But yeah, so then like obviously he wasn't into it. And then I started lying about how, yeah, I totally skate. And he's like, oh yeah, show me some moves. And I showed him the one move that I knew, which was face planting on the floor of the tile,
Hey man, that's like 50
getting a
points
nosebleed.
in Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Like blood is flowing down my face. And I'm just like, I ran away. I didn't say anything. I just ran out of the store. I ran.
That's an appropriate reaction.
I ran. My mom wondered where I was. I just was gone. I was hiding behind. I actually crawled under the back bumper of the car because I was so embarrassed. So at least my stealth afterward was a high roll, but the charisma was there. Charisma was high. It was the athletics check for me.
No 11.
It was.
You know, embarrassment stealth should be like a move, like a feature or a talent. Like
It's
when
being able to like when you trip, being able to make it cool. Because like everyone would be like, haha, did you see that? That was crazy, right? Or you can be like, man, like eat it and step on your shoes when he tries.
well,
Like,
I probably rolled a -1 somehow, and then I also took like 1d6 bludgeoning damage to the face from the floor.
well, what I'm saying is if you fail the charisma check, it adds +3 to a stealth check. that's what embarrassment stealth would be.
complex rolling.
That's what it
down.
was. That's what it was. Just blood
Okay.
flowing off my face.
So this one is an army story because of course. Okay, I was hesitant to tell this story, but I'm going to. So back in the day, I was in basic training, and all we had to eat in the field are MREs. Now, here's the thing about MREs. They're some of them are great. Some of them are disgusting. Some of them you could probably put on asphalt and would be stronger than the actual asphalt. But this one, back in the early 2000s, they had these powdered milkshakes. Okay, and they were fucking amazing. They're absolutely the most delicious thing. It doesn't even make sense how delicious they are. And I was weird, as I am. I'm a weird dude. I would eat them raw. I would not put any water, no milk, or nothing. I would just literally
You didn't do the heat, the water thing. You didn't.
no water, no nothing.
A fucking engine in the back.
I took a spoon and I took this powder and I ate it directly with the condensed milk and flavor and everything. It was amazing. I'm a weird dude. We've established this. Anyway, so we're on our final ruck march. I don't remember how long it was. Fucking almost 15 years ago, I think, something like that. And what ends up happening is people don't like these. I do. I don't know why. So people give me like 3 of these things. And the amount we had to ruck march is somewhere between 8 and 16 miles. Again, I don't remember the space and time. So I ate all 3 of them like an idiot.
That was great.
And here's the thing. A powdered milkshake is still a dairy product. So I start walking. About maybe 2-3 miles in, my stomach's going, hey, bud, we gotta poo and we gotta do it bad and we gotta do it fast. The thing is, you can't stop on a ruck march. You can't. There's like certain stops that you can take, but you yourself just can't pull to the side and do what you need to do. So I held it, and I held it, and I held it. I would say about 8-9 miles in, or 5 or 6 miles in, depending on how long the ruck march actually was. My butt was like, "Hey, we're not doing this anymore. You need to pull over." And I was like, "Jill, sorry, I need to take a shit so bad. I need to pull over." He's like, "You got 2 more miles, Private." And my butt decided it couldn't wait 2 more miles.
Oh,
No.
Yeah.
No.
Straight up shit my pants. And the thing is, because it was dairy, and it was a lot of dairy, like these are like big bags of. And it was so okay. Our uniform, we have to tuck our boots or our pant legs into our boots.
Oh, no.
It was seeping out of the tuck, and so I'm trailing behind me on top of this, and I'm like, I don't know. The funny thing is, I'm not even freaking out. I'm just relieved that it was over, and a new nightmare begins. And so. Jill Sart is not paying attention to me at all. I'm like, "Hey, Jill Sart." He's like, "What the fuck do you want, 308? Done shit my pants." "What?" "Done shit my pants." Wait, what did you say?" "Shit my pants, Jill Sart." He's like, "Hold on." All of a sudden, I start hearing over the radio, "Yo, 308 shit his pants, yo."
Oh, no.
And you just hear every drill sergeant down the line laughing their ass off. The guy behind me was like, "Oh my God, what is that?" Because here's the thing, in the ruck march, you march in a line. You don't like march on the road like side by you behind. So every person behind me had to deal with it on top of that. So I'm just like, "Okay, drill sergeant, what do I do now?" He's like, "Well, you got 3 more miles to walk, don't you?" So I had to walk like 3-4 miles in my own shit.
That's how people get fucking gangrene, man. That's gross.
It's super gross. I felt so gross. It was so bad. It was all bad. And the thing is, it gets worse. It actually gets worse, surprisingly.
Oh, no.
So I'm walking, and the guy behind me is making fun of me, and I just turn around like, "Hey, man, you're the one who has to deal with my shit for 3 miles. Fuck you."
That's mean. That's mean.
So
you're a butt bully. So you butted a bully.
So about an hour and a half later, we get back, and they're like, "Locke, go wash up." I missed the "You're Soldiers Now" ceremony as a result. And I get back into the barracks, and everyone is just like looking and laughing and like, Joe Sargent comes in. "Hey, shut your fucking mouths, every last one of you. Which one of you would have fucking walked 3 miles in your own shit? None of you motherfucking bitch ass, pussy ass fucking soldiers would do that. You'd be asking to go in the truck like the little bitches you are. Locke is the most disciplined fucking soldier we have here. You know, I'm almost willing to give him a fucking R-com for walking in his own shit." Like they should have
strange transition to a humble brag there.
No, it's not even a humble, but I still felt like even this day, I feel really fucking embarrassed about it. And like it followed me all the way. It followed me to Korea because I had people who were in that unit who went to Korea with me.
It's hard to get the smell out of your leg. It was still stuck there.
Yeah, I think to this day, if you take a whiff, it's still kind of.
I've felt you had a woof foot. I wasn't sure what it was. Yeah.
Needless to say, -20 to my constitution and -5 to my charisma for like 2 years. It was all bad.
What a bad time.
It was so awful. And to this day, I laugh about it. But back then, I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to let this define me. Oh, my goodness. I feel all gross just talking about it. Anyway, yeah, that is our critical fail for this week. If you have anything to say about our terrible lifestyles and life choices, please put it in the comments down below.
Don't draw that.
Yeah, no fan art about that, please. I don't need to relive it. With that being said, we're going to move on to celebrity D&D. And and today we're going to be doing the man, the myth, the gigantic legend, and I do mean gigantic. I've seen him in person. He takes up a whole booth. Shaquille O'Neal.
Woo!
I recently watched a video of all his children trying to beat him up, and it was impossible because he's so big. Like they're all like 18, and he makes them look like toddlers.
Honestly, if you were to ask him how many fifth graders he could like take out like in waves,
all of them.
Every
fifth grader in the world.
To this day, he's still fighting them off, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, from this world to the next, he will kill all of them. He's so big. He do it on accident. He just kind of rolls over and gets comfy and murders a legion.
Yeah. So a little bit of background of Shaquille O'Neal. He's put his name kind of on everything. He's like the kiss.
Oh, my can's invisible. It's green. I was really confused as to why my can didn't show up. Sorry. Whoa, that threw me off. I thought I was a ghost. Sorry.
So, Shaquille O'Neal is pretty much like the kiss of the basketball world. Kind of puts his name on anything and everything, or at least he used to back in the 90s. And so I think a lot about Shaq Fu when creating his character. Like I just imagine it's like
Monk. Also Shazam.
Yeah. He's got genie powers. He's got monk, barbarian, giant powers.
It's still tricky because who was the real Shazam is up in the air dimensionally.
It is not, because it's actually one of my favorite stupid movies. It's
not for everyone. Welcome to the Matrix, bitch.
Needless to say, I in terms of race, can you play as a giant race? Is that?
I think
you'd
be a half giant. You half giants.
Yeah. No.
No.
No. There's half orcs, which are huge. There's Goliaths now, which are huge. There's maybe a Furbolg, which Furbolg are like mountain people. Like they're just giant half ogre people, I think. But I think those are like the three biggest monstrous races you can be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's a Goliath?
Goliaths are just huge motherfuckers. They're like 8 foot tall monster people from the mountains. They're badass. They have super big constitution, generally known as like shamans and like outdoorsmen. And they're generally good. They're not evil characters. Like he's a Goliath. He's sent here from the elder dimension.
Right.
But for Goliath.
Yeah, I was gonna go with he's like a Goliath cross class with like a barbarian monk with jinn energy. That's how I see this. Like it makes all the sense in the world. Like he's a.
You could do. There's like monk.
What if you make him a mystic? Barbarian. I know that's not in 5e, but like, what if you made him a mystic?
Well, you can be again like that's what I'm good. There's like you can make sort of like class roles where like you can like a cross class like a warlock with like a jinn invocation with like a monk, and then you can be like a genie inspired monk, a warlock with like the powers of magic, but also like the sort of like I don't know.
It's so OP. It's so OP. If I saw,
he never seems like angry. Like he's always just so chill. He's like, if nothing, like I would even give him like I would lean him more towards like druidic stuff because he's just this big, happy, giant man playing games and making babies and having a good time and taking bad endorsements.
I'm just saying, if I saw an 8 foot tall Goliath with a staff and he was just not having a good day and he was just like, I don't care if I'm like a level 20 and he's like a level 2. I'm going the other way. Like his intimidate roll is like a +5 easily.
So especially if we give him like a warlock thing, because being warlock, you're warlock casting whatever is charisma. So if he's like part warlock and part monk, or whichever y'all want to cross class, then he could be like super charismatic. But charisma doesn't always mean that you're charming. It can also mean that you're like terrifying, like accidentally.
Well, I imagine he wouldn't necessarily be terrifying, but because of his size, what he would have is just simply presence. Like, there's no way you wouldn't notice this person. If you were man, beast, God, if you saw this guy rolling around, you would automatically take notice of him. And I imagine his backstory was because of that. He's a lot like, he's a very friendly dude, but he had to work really hard to get there because everyone was just like looking at him and staring at him and asking him, where the fuck are you from? Like, I imagine, that's why he became a monk, is because it's like, I'm tired of being this person that everyone can ignore. So I need to find a way to ignore them. So he became this monk to center himself.
Based off of Shaquille O'Neal's actual life, like once he became famous, he started buying everything for his mom and everything. So if he has a tiny, sweet little mama as part of his backstory, and like, what if he's also like, so he probably has like a big house somewhere deep in the woods or whatever, or like maybe a temple if he's a monk. But what if he just pops up as an NPC at random like places? Like he owns like an eatery over here, or he owns like a souvenir shop over here. He just pops up and you're like, wait, you own this too? Yeah. Bad business deals. I don't know.
Every time you show up to a place, you have the offer to where like you go in and you can do like a trial, like an athletics trial, and you can play them in a game of basketball. And if you beat them, you get like a reward for free. And if not, you have to pay double.
and then sometimes it's an IOU coupon for his eatery.
Yeah, he's just this wandering merchant, and no matter where you are in the world, he's always there. So he has this like you don't know if there's a million Shaqs or if there's just one who teleports wherever you are. He's always the bartender.
So
the basketball player.
So he's basically the Nurse Joy of the D&D realm.
Yes.
I love it. Shaq is our merchant. He is our universal merchant for all things. And because he just, everything that he needs, he pray with his like warlock genie connection. He just basically like, whatever you need, he kind of wishes it into existence in a cute way.
It'd be really funny if like you're traveling and you see him in another city. He's like, weren't you in the last city? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Nope, never been there.
No, and
I saw you 2 days ago. Never been there.
No, and the best part is they're all named Shaq, right? They're all named Shaq. It's always Shaq. There's another Shaq in the other town. No, I'm the only Shaq. I'm the only Shaq I know.
I love that.
I also just want like a side storyline where like it's something really mundane. Like you're gonna go get like ingredients for something. He wants you to get this ingredient, and it ends up being like an ingredient for a pie for his tiny mama. And at the end of the quest, like you see his like tiny ass little mom. He's like this big old Goliath. And he's like, here you go, really mama.
He did. His mom was like a gnome, and when you see photos in his house, and his mom is a gnome, and his dad is like a cloud giant, and that's how Goliaths are made. And there's like a photo of them, and it's this giant difference.
Okay, so let's talk about his interactions with our current NPCs in the real world, and I think this one's going to be really fun. He's actually one of the few people I think that has no relation to Elon Musk whatsoever. First off, like you ask him who Elon Musk is, he's just not. What?
I mean, he sold him some sandwiches, but that's about it.
Yeah, like he's just like, who's that? Like, here's who I see him kind of interacting with. Kanye West and the Murder Choir. Like, I feel like it's kind of like a game recognizes game type of feel,
Well, why I mean, I don't think again, like, but he doesn't, I don't think he has like a horse in the race. Like Shannon said, I think he just wants to take care of his mom and have his little diners.
He just wants to take care of his mom.
He's like a really benevolent force in there that honestly wouldn't want like these crazy people in. Like if he comes to us, I feel like he's one of those guys that we like have like in our back pocket to where like he's never got aggressive ever until now. We're like, if like the Murder Choir accidentally like wrecks his mom's house, then all the Shaqs, like a million Shaqs come out.
Well, no, there's one person I definitely want him to interact with. So I imagine he's
What about Rick Moranis, the tinkerer?
Yeah.
Oh, I imagine they're probably talking all the time because he always needs like stuff, and he can like.
Yeah, he gives them food all the time, and maybe Rick Moranis has gone over to his mom's house.
The Cloud Giant dumped her, so she's been dating Rick Moranis.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Okay.
so when you see him, he shows up and pats Shaq on the calf and is like, "What's up, son?"
He's like, "Don't call me son."
He's actually probably totally cool with it just because
It's like, "Hey, stepdad."
Just because he treats his mom so well. He treats him with such delicate respect. Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's one more person I think he would interact with. So I see him as a definitely lawful good creature. Like he's just the goodiest good of that could possibly be. Here's the thing. Wallace Shawn is pretty much his mortal fucking enemy.
For sure. Because he's a con artist. He's a trickster. He's a bullshitter.
Well, no, it's not that he's a con artist or trickster or bullshitter. It's because he's directly connected to evil incarnate, basically. And, like they know very much of each other. They are the most polar opposite you can get. And it's the only person that Wallace Shawn is absolutely terrified of.
Because wasn't Wallace Shawn the one that everyone was terrified of because he was the intermediary between him?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's the one. Of course, Shaq would hate him. He's a sweet little mama's boy. And this guy's out here giving out bullshit contracts, trying to get people's souls taken away.
Sure. But imagine, like, Shaq is just like the rock of goodness. Like, nothing phases him. The moment you mention Wallace Shawn's character, he's just like, where? He just switches on a dime. Like, it's the only thing that makes him furiously angry enough to kill something.
I think he and Mickey Rourke would drink together.
100%.
They'd be drinking butter.
Absolutely. And they don't small talk. They don't need to keep each other's lives. They just meet up and they just like say each other's name and like punch each other in the arm and then drink beers. That's all they do.
That's all they do.
Yeah. But if you ever come between them, they would die for each other.
I think Stevie Nicks sang at the wedding between Rick Moranis and Shaq's mom.
Ooh, yes. Also, Stevie Nicks might have like a crush on Shaq, which irritates all of her like loving and adoring fans. However, Shaq just doesn't care. He doesn't notice. But Stevie's always like, she's always kind of pawing at him. It's real cute.
Yeah. She's like,
yeah, because he's just so big, and she just like paws at his stomach because he's like 8 feet tall. If he ever gives her lip, she just grows to 8 feet tall really fast.
No, and the thing is, he's not even scared that that's a thing. He just kind of like amused, like, cool. It's like, you're as tall as me. No one can do that. That's cool. I love this character because
we just made Shaq best boy.
Yeah,
it's so wholesome, and I love how wholesome this is because I think that as D&D is filled with just like weird things that players and GMs alike come up with, and I feel like a lot of stuff wholesome gets kind of missing. So I love having characters that you love to have around just because they're that lovable to be around.
There's usually a lot more murder. So this is
a lot more murder, way more murder hobos than wholesome willies.
Some tentacles.
Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our final segment of the night, which is the hills we die on. I guess I'll go first on this one. It's silly. It's a silly one, but I like Nickelback. I'm just gonna go out and say it. I love Nick. I hate that I have to say it. I love Nickelback. I have so many guitar.
You lost all our subscriptions.
I have so many good, like, I play all the songs. Like, Chad Kroeger's one of the weirdest dudes in the world, but in a good way. Like, he's got a very Canadian accent, and his whole thing is like, if you guys didn't hate us so much, we would have actually gone away years ago. So thanks for hating us.
Also, so interesting fact about Nickelback, as much as everyone hates them, those motherfuckers sell out arenas.
They do.
And they have made so much money. Because while there's like a whole echelon of society that hates Nickelback is also one of the most popular bands in the last 20 years. It's how famous they are. They have like 5 platinum albums.
Now,
so like as much as people talk shit about Nickelback, like they did it, you know.
Yes, and there is one band I will always hate universally. I don't care, and that's fucking Creed. Creed is a shit, awful band.
Get the fuck out of here! You like Nickelback? You can't do it.
I like Nickelback, and I hate Creed. Fucking Scott Stapp is a fucking bitch. Like he should not have existed. Like
why?
I'll tell you why. Because not necessarily because the music's fine. The way he sings is such a hack way to sing. There's actually a term I use for it. It's called the talking taco. And the reason I call it this way, because in order for you to make his sound, you have to roll your tongue up like a taco, like this, right? And it goes, hello, my friend, we meet again. Like, I'm just like, and like he's got such this huge ego, this massive ego that just like doesn't keep his head on straight. And I know he's got like, you know, the drug problem, the rock star problem, but he's such a dick. He is so like, and his music reflects of how much of a dick he is. And, like I'm sure the rest of the band is fine. Just Scott Stapp particularly is a dick, and I hope that he never graces a stage again.
Particularly, not the band. It seems like you just don't like Scott Stapp.
I don't. I think he's an awful human being. I mean, like
there's a lot of musicians that are.
No, the way it works, it's like, here's the Taking Back Sunday singer, and he should die in a fire and never return.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
What? No. Wait. What?
That's I. Oh my god! If you know how many
Taking Back Sunday.
No. I'm sorry. Wait. No.
Sunday.
No. I'm sorry. Wait. No. Wait. No. I take it back. No. That Lost Prophets is who I was thinking of. I was thinking of Lost Prophets.
Okay, that's a very
different.
No, I know. My brain.
Every scene kid in America.
Yeah. No.
I'm a reformed one.
No. The singer of Lost Prophets is here, and then like Scott Stapp is just like 2 steps above.
Lost Prophets. I know a single of theirs, but I don't care to remember them.
Honestly, it sucks because I used to love their music. I used to play their music, and then when I found out he was a piece of shit, I had to force myself not to listen anymore, and that's always a terrible time when you have to force yourself.
Then you have to separate yourself from the person in the music, though. Like, can I not listen to Michael Jackson anymore?
Okay, so no, this is
it's different. The person. I fucking hate Kanye, but he made two of the greatest albums ever made, and then 5 other ones that were decent.
Well, that's a different argument. No, that's a different argument altogether. That's a whole ass hill entirely. We can talk about that next week for sure. Anyway, back to what my original thing. Nickelback, Chad Kroeger. You're an all right dude. Your music's pretty good, and I like playing your stuff. Yeah, the Guy Fieri of the rock world.
I will say, when Silver Side Up, when the first album came out that had like, if you remember or whatever, their first single, and it was like the #1 song on every station in America for like 5 months, and I loved it. I loved it when I was probably like 13, and I was like, yeah, I'm hardcore. I thought I was dope. And so everyone, they're not bad. Their music's all the same. It's the same shit. That's why people disrespect their music. It's not because Chad Kroeger sucks, because all their music can be played on the same fucking 4-beat track.
No, I asked a friend of mine, like, why do people hate? And he's a musician, like he's a real musician. He's like, well, and like you said, all his music sounds the same. He has the same everything, and people still like it, and we hate him because people are idiots and people listen to his music. And I'm just like, so you don't hate Nickelback, really? You just hate the fans of Nickelback. He's like,
it's like anime fans. Like everyone loves anime, but anime fans are the worst. Yeah, like I want to be a Dragon Ball fan, but Dragon Ball people are so bad that I feel weird being a Dragon Ball fan.
You're so quiet over there, Shannon.
She probably hates Dragon Ball because of Dragon Boys.
No.
What do you got?
I am a Dragon Ball fan.
Yeah!
I love Dragon Ball. What's wrong with Dragon Ball? Nothing.
I love Dragon Ball Z. I love Dragon Ball. And then they had the Dragon Ball Z Kai or whatever, like after it. Like, I watched all that.
Kai, they just cut out all the filler and cut down 80% of the volume.
Well, I tried to watch the new series, and I watched the first 2 episodes of Super. I couldn't do it. The writing or maybe the dub.
Super doesn't really start until like episode 7.
Yeah.
Like you can skip all of the beginning of Super, all the resurrection stuff. It's all garbage until they get to the tournament. It's garbage. But once you get to the universe tournament, oh, it is so like Jiren versus fucking Ultra Instinct Goku is one of the sickest things I've ever seen. Goku does the coolest Kamehameha on fucking who are the
spoiler.
the super like Broly girl. Ooh, when he like fucking beam slides up her, it's crazy. It was so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm a big Dragon Ball stan.
I will say I find Yu Hakusho better.
I fucking loved Yu Hakusho.
I do so much. Shit. I think
very different shows.
They are very different,
but they're not that different though.
Yeah.
They still have the tournaments. They still have power
aliens
levels, kind of.
versus demons and ghosts.
Is a fighting anime. Yu Yu Hakusho is a
It's also a fighting anime.
It's fighting, but there's more character driven. You don't have like 3 episodes with people screaming. That's why people do like
but that's why I like it. But that's why I like it better because it's
Have you watched Jujutsu Kaisen?
Jujutsu Kaisen's so good.
Right?
Reading it though? Oh my god, right now the shit that's going on.
No spoils. I haven't read.
The manga is fucking bonkers.
Don't tell me.
You saw Chozo in the last episode, the blood guy? The end of the last episode? He is, it's not like a spoiler, but he's now one of my favorite characters in the whole world. Okay. He's like best boy now.
Literally, if I could marry Gojo, like I would.
I would marry Gojo.
Everyone would marry Gojo.
Satoru Gojo is the coolest person. He's
so hot. So
my
amazing.
god. He puts like Kakashi to shame, and Kakashi.
He does, and Kakashi was my favorite.
Kakashi was daddy.
We gotta tangent.
I don't know how Nickelback got to this point, but
I don't either. But okay, I will go. Have I talked about people coming in right before closing?
Not yet.
Okay, so my fucking pet peeve, my hill I will die on. If you see the outside the store, even looking at the hours or on Yelp or anything, that the store is about to close in 5 fucking minutes, don't come in. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself because everybody's going to fucking hate you.
You're going to stare you down. It's going to hurt.
Like I do it. I mean, I work a retail job, but legit, I was later to start today because motherfuckers didn't leave until almost an hour after closing. What the fuck is wrong with you? There's hours posted for a fucking reason. And if you can't get in and out in 2 minutes, get the fuck out. Come back tomorrow.
So I actually have a standing rule for this. My standing rule is 30 minutes. If it's 30 minutes before closing, you don't go. And I feel like a lot of people follow that, but there's also some dick ass Chad motherfucker who will definitely go in 5, 10, 15 minutes. Fucking Chad bitch ass fuck.
Like legit, people were shopping for bikinis and like just took like 12 of them in with them. The dressing rooms 5 minutes before closing. I'm like, why?
I'm sorry, I hate that. I've had bars forever.
Bars are the worst. Bars are the worst.
When it's like 5 till close, someone comes in, they're like, "What's your best cocktail?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Like, I'm washing all my dishes. Do you want me to make my best cocktail right now?"
Last call already happened. Bye.
Like, could you go in the back and make me a salad to put the drink on? No, I don't. But I do that though. I have to do that. That's like,
dude. Working at Yard House, it was every fucking night without fail. There was always, and the thing is, like, even if you don't, there's also people who will sit there for like 2 hours. Like, you come in an hour before it closes, and they'll sit there an hour after the fact. And you know, if you're at a bar or if you're at a place that, like, you know, Yard House, it happens every night. There's always some person who just doesn't want to fucking
that bar life.
Leave. And they know. And the thing is, they know that we hate it. They just don't care. They just don't care. And that's why it makes it even worse. Fuck you. If you want to have a conversation with the person, go the fuck somewhere else. I understand.
Like 2 weeks ago, I was like, my hill down is that everyone should be in a service position. You have to. Mm-hmm. It's like military service. You have to do it because if you don't do it, you're a douchebag. And you do shit like that. And you make Shanny late to the cast.
Exactly. Yeah. It's all right though. We still love you, Shannon. Anyway, what do you got?
I can be quick. I had a bunch of different ones, but I have one really long one, so I'll do a short one. I This goes to my 80s dislike. I hate every show that has a laugh track. I hate laugh tracks. How dare you tell me when to laugh? How dare you upset? What if the joke's not funny? And then I feel uncomfortable because other people are laughing and I'm supposed to be laughing. And now I feel bad because I'm not part of the crowd. How dare you? Don't tell me what to do. I hate laugh tracks. I think it is unconscionable to do that and to do your laughter when sometimes it's not fucking funny. And I hate it.
Well, here's the thing. There's actually there's a couple of YouTubers out there who play with this idea where they'll take away the laugh track of Friends or Big Bang Theory or whatever to see if the jokes are still funny without the laugh track. And the answer is no. In fact, more than half the jokes just fall flat because there's no laugh track. And it's a psychological thing. It's like they'll put that there to indicate you should be laughing, not necessarily that it is funny, but
because they've used to the sheep.
Well, and this is actually a really smart, evil thing. And I'll tell you why. I do stand-up comedy in my spare time. And I learned between a small venue and a big venue, the bigger the venue is, the easier the comedy is. And I never knew this until I did the Ice House in Pasadena. It's a very large venue. It's about 200-300 people. And I was only used to doing stand-up mics with other comedians who don't give a shit about your jokes. It was my first time at a real audience, and it was so easy. It was so fucking easy to get these people to laugh, and it changed my whole perception of stand-up comedy from that day forward, because I realized the more audience you have, the more laughs you're going to get, because everyone likes to participate in that laughter, not necessarily that you're funny, and that's what the laugh track does.
Yeah. I get that. Thank you. I hate it.
I think that's why boomer humor is the way it is because they were literally trained for years to laugh at certain really unfunny things.
Yeah.
And so they created what we know nowadays as the older snowflake generation.
Which also means
opinions. They didn't even have to know what was funny. They were told what was funny by laugh tracks.
Which also means if you are laughing at a show that doesn't have a laugh track, that is a legitimate ass funny show. And a good example, Schitt's Creek. Funny as fuck. It's so good.
I need to finish that. I just started it.
I've never cried so many times in a comedy. Like New Girl, the first time I watched it fucked me up because it was really powerful and I loved it. I recently learned about Schitt's Creek, bombed through it, wept like a goddamn child.
I'm not all the way through yet, but
you haven't. Oh my god!
I'm in season 3. And
I'm still in
Samuel.
I know.
I'm in season 1. So
okay, well, so it is. There's some intimate moments in those first couple.
It's so wholesome. It's so wholesome.
Just like the final couple episodes are like. Get your Kleenexes out. They'll fuck you up, man. They're so good. It deserved every Golden Globe it won because it did. It swept the Golden Globes for 3 years in a row, and it deserved it. It's one of the best written shows on TV.
Schitt's Creek is weird because no one actually really watched it until it almost finished.
It was on a Canadian local channel. It was on Pop TV.
Yeah.
It wasn't even supposed to come to the States. It got bought by Netflix after its 3rd year. And they were like, oh, dope. Yeah, that's cool. I guess it'll work. And then season 4, they won all the Emmys. And everyone's like, oh my God, what's this Canadian show? And it's one of the best written shows ever made. It's incredible.
Honestly, it's very rare to see good writing attached with good development. It's got so much of everything. And you think that, when you come into it, you're like, wow, what a bunch of spoiled assholes. But the more you jump into it, you're like, wow, there's so much heart here where it doesn't even deserve to be. It doesn't deserve the heart that it brings.
Season 3, just wait till you get to the end. They all have arcs and they're beautiful. And you know what the show doesn't have? A laugh track. Fuck them.
Yeah. This turned into a get wrecked really quickly, this whole segment. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up because I think we're a little over time. That's fine, though. Shannon, where can we find you in the world?
You can find me in the Twitch stream for the Crown of the Feywilds on Sunday mornings on Freckled Hobo's Twitch channel. Also, Shanny Bees on TikTok. I'm taking a little bit of break from Twitch because my internet is garbage. Hey.
And Zackety Doodle, where can we find you?
You can find me tonight in Denver. Normally on that ZClap1 on Instagram. Not really much else. I did recently get signed to D2D Entertainment, and I'm writing some movies that you should hopefully see.
My boy Zach, killing the Hollywood game for sure.
Dicks and eat shit. But yeah, no, that's about it. You'll see me soon.
Gotcha. Let's see. You can find me at SlammySammyLock on Twitter and at SammySammyLock on the Instagrams. You can find me at SammyLock on TikTok, where I'm starting to post things finally. And also, you can see us all here at Chuckle Sluts. I know that we keep promising more content on different platforms, but we're basically 4 people and a dog, and that's not even a euphemism. That's actually what we are. We are 4 people and a dog. So building things takes a little longer than your usual platformy things. So just stick by us, and you will see stuff sooner than later. Again, thank you for watching, because without you, this is not worth doing. And we love your faces, and we will see you next week. Hey.